Hello students, welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad, powered by Adda 24/7. Students, today we'll discuss the important MCQs. But before going into the session, please subscribe our YouTube channel, like our videos, share our videos, and do download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the link in the description as well as comment section. And also join our Telegram channel for the PDFs. So all the PDFs, important PDFs are available only in the Telegram channel. So do join the Telegram channel. So let us go into the important MCQs. So first MCQ for today. So ISRO NASA joint mission, NISA. So ISRO NASA joint mission, which is called NISA. So NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar. So it's a joint mission of ISRO and NASA. So this satellite will be launched in which year? So this particular satellite will be launched in which year? The answer is 2023. The answer is 2023. So in the year of 2023, ISRO NASA joint project NISAR is going to be launched. So let us see the details. So this mission is mainly to measure the changes in the Earth's surface. So using the advanced radar images. So this mission will be launched in 2023. It's an Earth observation mission jointly by ISRO and NASA. So mainly used for observing the entire Earth, including the polar cryosphere. So cryosphere means area which is frozen. So water where it is in frozen state is called cryosphere, simply icebergs. And also the Indian Ocean region. Okay, so cryosphere means the frozen part. So this particular mission uses L-band, S-band, dual band radar imaging missions. Okay, so they can observe changes in land, vegetation, and cryosphere. So these are all the advantages of this mission. So NASA is developing the L-band aperture radar, and ISRO is developing the S-band aperture radar, as well as spacecraft, launch vehicle, and related launch services. So NASA is helping us in the L-band system, and ISRO is doing the rest other works. Okay. The main aim of the project is to understand the efforts of climate change on the planet, okay, on its changing ecosystems, the terrestrial and coastal processes, land deformation, and cryosphere. So main aim is to understand the efforts of climate change, global warming on Earth. Okay. So this project was agreed during the US President Barack Obama's visit to India in 2015. So it dates back to 2015. So these are all the details about the project. So do remember ISRO headquarters Bengaluru, ISRO established in 1969, NASA headquarters Washington DC, NASA established in 1958. So do remember all these points. ISRO is the Indian Space Agency, NASA is the US Space Agency. Very simple. The next question, name the new enhanced feature launched by SBI for its UNO and UNO Lite platforms. So name the enhanced and new and enhanced feature launched by SBI, State Bank of India, for its UNO and UNO Lite platform. The answer is SIM binding. The answer is SIM binding. So in order to enhance the security feature of its app UNO and UNO Lite, so State Bank of India has launched the SIM binding, where it will protect the customers from various digital frauds. So under this new SIM binding feature, apps will only work on those devices which have SIM of the mobile number registered with the bank. So in your mobile number, if you need to install UNO app, that mobile number must be registered with the bank. Then only this particular app can be operated. So to get this new version of the app, you need to update the app. So it will enhance the security of the customers, which will help in convenient and safe online experience. You need to first update your mobile apps. Then you need to complete the one-time registration process. Then bank will verify the SIM of the registered mobile number with the lender. Same like Google Pay and Phone Pay. So Google Pay and Phone Pay, only the SIM is present in the mobile which is registered with the bank, then only it will work. Same way UNO also will work now. Okay. So SBI chairperson Dinesh Kumar Kara, headquarters Mumbai, established 1955. So do remember these points also. The next question. This question we already discussed in the month of June. So please again we have this question in August. So who has been reappointed as the Prime Minister of Armenia? So in the month of June, we already discussed this. So who is the new Prime Minister of Armenia? The answer is Nikol Pashinyan. So Nikol Pashinyan is the new Prime Minister of Armenia. So elections were held in June 2021. So I said we discussed in June. So elections were held in June 2021, and Civil Contract Party has won the elections, and they declared their leader as Pashinyan. So their party leader is now Pashinyan. So Pashinyan will be the new prime minister. So Nikol Pashinyan was reappointed as the prime minister of Armenia by President Arman Sarkisyan. So he appointed him on August 2nd. So that is why it is in news. So Nikol Pashinyan earlier was appointed as the prime minister in the year of 2018. So then in the month of April, he resigned to give way to the parliamentary election and also to resolve the tensions between himself and the army general and the opposition parties. So he got a landslide victory again. So now he is again the new prime minister of Armenia. So Armenia capital, Yerevan, Armenia currency, Armenian dram. So do remember all these points. Next question, Myanmar military chief who was appointed as the interim prime minister. So who is the Myanmar military chief who was appointed as the interim prime minister? He is also in news because he did a military coup to overthrow the Aung San Suu Kyi National League for Democracy Party government. So who is that military chief? So the answer is Min Aung Hlaing. So Min Aung Hlaing is the military chief who was appointed as the interim prime minister. So he taken over as the interim prime minister. So he is also currently the chairman of State Administrative Council, which performs the duty of government in Myanmar. After the February 1st military coup to overthrow Aung San Suu Kyi's ruling party, the National League for Democracy. So this SAC, State Administrative Council, is a caretaker government of Myanmar in order to perform the country's duties fast, easy and effectively. So Min Aung Hlaing is the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Services of Myanmar since 2011. And he pledged that he will conduct elections in 2023. So let us see what will happen in this Myanmar, military state Myanmar. So Myanmar capital, Naypyi Taw. So do remember Naypyi Taw. And Myanmar currency is kyat. Myanmar currency is kyat, or you can call it chart. So kyat or chart. So Myanmar currency. Do remember all these points. The next question, which of the following bank announced the launch of overdraft facility known as Dukandar Overdraft Scheme? So which bank has launched this Dukandar Overdraft Scheme? The answer is HDFC Bank. So HDFC Bank has launched this Dukandar Overdraft Scheme mainly for overdraft facility for small retailers in partnership with the CSC SPV, Common Service Center Special Purpose Vehicle. So you know, COVID pandemic has destroyed the lives of many small retailers. So in order to provide them overdraft facility, so this particular Dukandar Overdraft Scheme was launched by HDFC. Okay. So this common service points are access points for delivery of various electronic services to villages in India. So this HDFC Dukandar scheme will be done through the CSCs. So they will help the shopkeepers and merchants to ease their cash crunch. And according to the bank, so all the retailers who are operating from a minimum of 3 years are eligible to this scheme. So they need to provide 6 months bank statement. Okay. So they will get 50,000 to maximum 10 lakhs based on their bank statements as overdraft facility. And good thing is here is they don't need, HDFC Bank don't need any collateral security, no business financials or income tax returns from the retailers. So very good thing, useful for most of the retailers. The HDFC Bank headquarters Mumbai, HDFC established 1994. Do remember all these points. The next question, very important question. Which of the following city has become the first Indian city to achieve 100% COVID-19 vaccination? So we discussed earlier a village. Now we are discussing city. Tomorrow it may be a state. So we need to see all this first village, first city. Okay. So which city in India is to achieve this 100% vaccination? The answer is Bhubaneswar. So Bhubaneswar achieved 100% vaccination. Okay. So the achievement is because of the Bhubaneswar Municipal Corporation. So they launched this massive vaccination drive. So they established 55 centers. So where vaccination was given to the public. So all the 18-year above age population in Bhubaneswar was given vaccination. There are almost 9 lakh people. And additionally, 1 lakh migrant workers were given first dose also. So do remember these points. Bhubaneswar is the first Indian city to vaccinate 100% against COVID-19. So CM of Odisha, Naveen Patnaik, Governor Ganesh Lal. So do remember these points. And last month we discussed about a village, the first village to be vaccinated. The completely vaccinated village in India is Wayan village. Bandipora district, Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory, where 18 plus age group was vaccinated. So we discussed this point. So do remember all these points. The next question. So in the 100-meter men's race, so Olympic medal was won by which of the following? So very simple question. In the 100-meter men's race, Olympic gold was won by which of the following? The answer is it is from Italy, and he is Lamont Marcelli Jacobs. So Lamont Marcelli Jacobs from Italy is the winner of the Olympic Games 100-meter gold. So do remember him. So silver is Fred Kerley from USA, and bronze is Andre de Grasse from Canada. The same way, the women's 100 meters gold medalist. So women's 100 meters Olympic gold medalist. So who is the woman 100 meter Olympic gold medalist? The answer is Elaine Thompson-Herah. So Elaine Thompson-Herah from Jamaica is a winner of the women's 100 meter gold medalist. Okay. So gold by Elaine Thompson-Herah, Jamaica, and Shelly Anna Fraser again from Jamaica, silver, and Shericka Jackson from Jamaica again from Jamaica, bronze. So do remember, so Jamaica, very famous for athletes. So you know this Jamaica. So do remember about the gold medalist in women's and men's 100-meter race. Okay. The next question. This is about men's single gold in tennis. The men's single gold in tennis. Okay. So who is this person who belongs to Germany, who beats the Russian Karen Khachanov, okay, to become the men's singles gold medalist in tennis? So the answer is not Novak Djokovic. So he didn't reach up to finals. So the answer is a very new person, Alexander Zverev. So Alexander Zverev from Germany is the finalist, is the gold medalist in this tennis tournament. Okay. So, and also is the second German to win an Olympic single gold after Steffi Graf's achievement in 1988 Seoul Olympics. So he's the second German to win Olympic gold after Steffi Graf's achievement in 1988 Seoul Olympics. So do remember this point. Okay. So Germany is Alexander Zverev. So he beats the Russian Karen Khachanov to win the men's single gold in Tokyo Olympics in the tennis category. Okay. So he's yet to win a Grand Slam. So very shocking news is he's yet to win a Grand Slam. So he need to win a Grand Slam. Maybe in the next Grand Slam he'll definitely bag a Grand Slam. So a new rising star in the field of tennis. So do remember him. So from Team ROC, Russian Olympic Committee, so Karen Khachanov has won silver, and from Team Spain, Palbo Carreno Busta has won bronze. So do remember all these points. Remember gold, sir, enough. No need of silver and bronze, but remember gold, very, very important. So which country has clinched the 7th CONCACAF Gold Cup? So which team has won the 7th CONCACAF Gold Cup? So this CONCACAF is a football tournament held for North America, Caribbean, and the Central America regions. So this World Cup, Gold Cup was won by which of the following country? The answer is United States of America. So United States of America defeated Mexico to win this 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup. It is the 7th Gold Cup title for USA. Okay. And this event is organized every 2 years. The biennial event, International Men's Football Championship, organized by CONCACAF, which is a football ruling body for North America, Central America, and Caribbean, as we discussed. And the awards were given to the players like Golden Ball Award, Golden Boot, Golden Glove, Young Player, Goal of the Tournament, Fighting Spirit, Fair Play Award. So also try to remember these awards. Okay, not so important, but please try to remember. The next question: Operation Blue Freedom was launched in which year by CLOV Global, a team of former special force operators of the Indian Navy and Indian Army? So Operation Blue Freedom is launched in which year by the CLOV Global? The answer is 2019. So in 2019, this Operation Blue Freedom was launched by the team CLOV. The CLOV means Conquer Land, Air, Water. So it is simply abbreviated as Conquer Land, Air, Water. So it is a team. This particular CLOV team has requested the government. So the government has approved sanctions to this team to lead a team of persons with disabilities to scale Siachen Glacier. So government has announced that it gave sanctions approved for Team Clouds, Conquer Land, Air, Water. So who are the special operatives who worked in Indian Navy and Army. So they formed a Team Global. So now they will lead a team of persons with disabilities to the Siachen Glacier. This will be a new world record for the largest team of persons with disability. So this expedition is a part of Operation Blue Freedom. So mainly the aim of this Operation Blue Freedom is to shatter the common perception of pity, charity, and inability which is associated with the persons of disabilities, to recreate it to dignity, freedom, and ability. Okay, so this Operation Blue Freedom, let us see, was launched in 2019 by Cloud Global, a team of former special force operatives of Indian Navy and Army. So they are a social impact venture. So this is a social impact venture aimed at rehabilitating persons with disabilities through adaptive adventure sports. So very simple, they'll take a team of persons with disabilities to Siachen Glacier. That's it. Okay. The next question, the Union Minister of Science and Technology has released Biotech Pride Guidelines. Now, who is the current Minister of Science and Technology? So recently, the Minister of Science and Technology, there is a change. So you need to say, who is the new Minister of Science and Technology? The answer is Jitendra Singh. The answer is Jitendra Singh. So do remember, the answer is Jitendra Singh. So Union Minister of Science and Technology, he launched this Biotech Pride, promotion of research and innovation through data exchange guidelines. So these guidelines were released by the Union Minister Jitendra Singh. So these guidelines were developed by the Department of Biotechnology. So these guidelines are aimed at providing a well-defined framework and guiding principle to facilitate and enable sharing and exchange of biological knowledge, information, and data. So they are implemented through the Indian Biology Data Center. So exchange of information will mainly promote research and innovation in different fields. Okay. So this BioGrid is a national repository of biological knowledge, information, and data responsible for enabling its exchange, developing measures of safety, standard, and quality of data sets. Okay. So this Indian Biological Data Center is the first national repository for life science data in India. Okay. So it is mandated to archive all the life science data which is generated from the publicly funded research. So very simple, this Biotech Pride rules are to protect the data in India. That's it. So this data center will be managed by the Department of Biotechnology, which is established at the Regional Center of Biotechnology, Faridabad, and the current Union Minister of Science and Technology, Jitendra Singh. So very simple, Biotech Pride guidelines are to save the data, which are research data. We done a lot of research in India. We need to save the data in India for further researches, for further type of projects. So they release some guidelines, how to protect these data, how to maintain security and all these things. Very simple, that's it. The next question. So Italian luxury brand, Bulgari, so appointed which of the following actress as the global brand ambassador? So it is not V is present in the spelling, but it's a Bulgari. So Italian luxury brand, Bulgari, so has appointed which actress as the global luxury brand ambassador? The answer is Priyanka Chopra Jones. So Priyanka Chopra Jones is the global brand ambassador. She will support this Roman high jewelry house to amplify its brand around the world. So mainly it will focus on the themes like women empowerment, diversity, and inclusion. So Bulgari is famous for its gemstone jewelry, watches, fragrances, accessories, and leather goods. They're also launching a jasmine farm in India also. A huge jasmine farm in India for their fragrance industry. So Priyanka Chopra Jones is earlier also the global UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Okay, so this particular company Bulgari was launched in 1884 by Sortiorsis Vulgaris. Okay, so he launched this company in 1884 and currently its headquarters is in Rome, Italy. So Italian luxury brand. Okay, so do remember all these points. The next question. RBI recently imposed a penalty of 50 lakhs on which of the following bank? The RBI imposed recently a penalty of 50 lakhs on which of the following bank? The answer is Janalakshmi Cooperative Bank. So on Janalakshmi Cooperative Bank, which is headquartered in Nasik, the RBI has imposed a 50 lakh penalty on this bank. So mainly this penalty was imposed for non-compliance with RBI directions regarding the placement of deposits with other banks and membership of credit information companies. Okay, so this penalty was issued under the section 47A and 46 and 56 of the Banking Regulation Act. So according to this acts, RBI issued penalties. So an inspection was conducted by RBI, and it was revealed that there was non-compliance with the directions of RBI. So RBI issued the penalty on the Janalakshmi Cooperative Bank. So Janalakshmi Cooperative Bank, established in 1976 and headquarters is in Nasik. So do remember all these points. So the last question, which of the following bank has entered into an MOU with SIN, initiative of IIT Bombay? So which bank has signed an MOU with IIT Bombay? The answer is Indian Bank. So Indian Bank has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Society for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, an initiative of the IIT Bombay, for extending exclusive credit facilities to startups and MSMEs. So the bank will provide loans up to 50 crore, mainly for startups for their working capital requirements or purchase of machinery and equipment. So SIN is an initiative of the IIT Bombay, Society for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So Indian Bank will provide loans to these young entrepreneurs for working capital requirement, for buying machinery, for buying equipment. Okay. So IIT Bombay, if you see about IIT Bombay, which is a springboard of startups to realize their ambitions. So they launched the SIN, which is a front runner in setting up joint R&D with industries and supporting startup incubation. So it will provide support to MSME sector by providing joint R&D arrangements, technical and financial support for incubation, acceleration of high-tech technology products. So it's an incubation center which supports R&Ds, which support young industries, young startups, young MSMEs. Okay. So do remember about Indian Bank. Indian Bank headquartered Chennai, and Indian Bank established in 1907. Indian Bank established in 1907. Okay. So these are all the MCQs for today. So please subscribe our channel, like our videos, share our videos, and join the Telegram channel for this PDF. And do download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the link in the description as well as comment section. So we provide currently coaching for bank, SSC, RRB, SI Constable. So do download the app and also visit our branches for offline classes. So our offline classes are running successfully. So do visit our offline classes. So do visit our branch, or you can call our branch. So the numbers are displayed on the screen. So thank you, students. We'll meet in the next class with one more beautiful session.